Welcome to today's recap. In today's video, you will see how Fudo and Desumi follow their hearts and proceed to have a forbidden romance, despite all the odds being against them. Make yourself comfortable, and if you enjoy the video, please consider subscribing. This would help our channel a lot. Our story begins with our protagonist Fudo, who was asked by a girl named Desumi to try some cookies she baked. Although she is a bit concerned, he says that they are shockingly delicious, which makes her happy. Their date was pleasant and he was able to be with the one he loves most. Following that, he tells her he is the luckiest person in the world for having met her. However, just below them we see a group of costume heroes fighting a mob of villains. She can't help but be uncomfortable when Fudo stares at her beauty, because she hasn't been paid attention to before. Fudo then says that according to his research, couples are supposed to hold hands. She is a bit hesitant as it's only been their third date. He reveals that statistics show that holding hands typically happens on the second or third date, making her realize how incredible an average couple is. Their hearts pound as she begins to give in, but they are interrupted and end up battling instead. It is explained that Fudo is actually the leader of Freezing Sentai Gelato 5, and Desumi is the leader of the secret society Gecko. They stop pretending to fight after the blue gelato leaves and are excited to see they are finally able to hold hands. The story takes us back 1 week earlier to the Gelato headquarters training facility. Fudo was met by his teammate Haru and they went to a team meeting together. On the way, they see that Hayato fails miserably at asking a girl out on a date. Eventually, they meet the rest of the group. Professor Big Gelato and Misaki Diego. The meeting is about the secret society Gecko that is plotting world domination and how the appearance of their new member, the Reaper Princess, has made them more formidable than ever. An alarm sounds and the team heads out to battle the Gecko. They get into their uniforms and explain the significance of their colors in reference to gelato flavors. The mob is clearly no match for the team's overpowered attacks. The Reaper Princess joins the fight and Fudo commands that he will take care of her, while the others handle everyone else. Their fight will be cut short as the bear is defeated and requests that they retreat. The Reaper Princess is very impressed that he was able to keep up and looks forward to their next meeting. Upon returning to base, Big Gelato congratulates Fudo on his excellent work ethic, considering he continues to train even after a fight. However, he eventually questions if he ever has anything better to do than exercise. Fudo explains that he has just been thinking about something. Big Gelato knows him well and assumes it must be issues of world peace, but Fudo reveals that he is just thinking about the woman he loves. He explains that he has never been in love before, but he will never be able to tell her since he is a hero and she is a villain. Nevertheless, Big Gelato disagrees. In order to move forward in his life, Fudo must express his feelings to her. As we learn later, Fudo has asked the Reaper Princess to meet, and she obviously believes it is to settle their fight. Eventually, Fudo barely said, "I love you." After a long awkward pause, he states that he has felt this way from the very beginning. In spite of the fact that they are mortal enemies, he insists that it doesn't matter to him. Then, she believes she finally understands what's going on. It is evident that he knows she has no experience with such things, and is just teasing her. Since she is the kind of woman who has rumors spread about her, no man could ever love her. Fudo reveals how that can't be true. He then claims to know what her favorite foods are, which make him come over as a creep. She says that the people think all sorts of bad things about her. He then interrupts her and claims that this is not true as he knows her better. His knowledge amazes her. She again reminds them that they are enemies, but he believes that they can make it work and formally asks her to be his girlfriend. Finally, she agrees, but tries to let him know she has no knowledge of dating, which he understands, since he also has none. Back to the present, Desumi shows him a picture of her cat and he can't help but notice her cute face in the picture. They genuinely enjoy each other's company, but she reminds him that they can't let anyone find out about them, or they won't be able to stay together. However, they both hope that one day they will be able to show the world that they are a couple. Yellow Gelato appears and Desumi beats him up. They exchange insults, to put on a good act, and she leaves. Later, we watch another battle between Gelato 5 and the Gecko. The two leaders face off and demonstrate their ability. They understand each other without saying a word. After finding a place where they could be alone, Fudo wonders why she is sitting further apart than usual. Desumi explains that she fears she may be smelly after such an active fight. However, Fudo says that he would never leave no matter how awful she smells. She seems a bit upset and he begins to take pictures of her because he thinks it's cute. She explains that he should use her phone instead and they pose for a photo together, but get nervous when they realize that they are closer than they have ever been before. He forgets to open his eyes as he is too distracted by her wonderful scent. As Yellow Gelato appeared, he feared they had been caught, but turned to see Desumi pretending to be defeated. Fudo is then interviewed by a reporter and asked about the Reaper Princess, and he is extremely complimentary while keeping his relationship secret. As a final question, the reporter asks what everyone wants to know. If he has a girlfriend at the time. He wants to tell the reporter about the two of them, but Misaki shows up to say he could never have a girlfriend as all he worries about is bodybuilding. Though, she does think he should learn a bit about the feminine heart, and reveals that they will be taking applications for a date with Fudo, even prompting the reporter to consider trying her luck. Desumi is a bit jealous of his growing female fan base, but he said that she is the only girl for him and he would do anything for her. Hearing this, she requests that they go on an actual date, since she was always convinced she would never get the chance. He of course says yes, but later reveals to himself that he has no clue what should be done on a date. Later, he is overwhelmed when doing research about it and Misaki shows up thinking she is responsible because of her date application idea. She explains that all he needs to do is pick an activity they both enjoy. He now considers that he has found the truth about dating. On their date they compliment each other's disguises and he reveals that he has planned their entire date. The first destination they arrive at is a historic training gym. She is surprised by his choice. As Fudo and his date go for a run after a grueling workout, he realizes how wonderful dating can be, when they do things he enjoys. He then says that she must be getting hungry and that they should eat, so he pulls out a protein bar followed by some bad jokes. Fudo thinks about how perfectly things are going. His phone rings and Misaki tells him she was drunk and left out important dating rules. He wants to know, pretending it's for future reference only. She says that he should not wear gym clothes like he usually does. Then she will be dressed up nice, so no activities that will cause her to get sweaty or dirty. And finally make sure to take her to a nice restaurant. He then realizes that he had done everything wrong and it is no wonder why she hasn't come back. Nonetheless, he goes to find her, promising that if given another chance he would do better. A few moments later, she reappears and explains that she was stuck at a store buying drinks and wants to continue the conversation. The fact that she was actually enjoying the date, and that she is happy as long as she can be with him surprised Fudo, but also relieved him. She explains that even if the world might think that their dating is weird, they are who they are and that's all that matters. He recalls the same feeling he had the first time he ever saw her, and the two go in for a kiss. However, they are interrupted by alerts, and must head to battle. As the ferocious battle begins they are both far too distracted to fight. Later, we see that 2 weeks have gone by and that the Gecko hasn't been causing any trouble. Fudo appreciates the peace knowing no one wants to fight. The only problem is that if he doesn't fight, he won't be able to see Desumi. The alarm sounds, revealing a mission to infiltrate the Gecko base and destroy the new weapon they have developed. Fudo heroically volunteers for this very dangerous mission and is recognized as an outstanding hero. However, his intention is to meet Desumi. Reaper Princess arrives at her base and everyone comments on how murderous she is becoming lately. However, she knows it's only because she hasn't seen Fudo. It is revealed that the monster bear intends to atomize the heroes with his new weapon. He looks at her dangerous pouch, knowing that it is specifically made for concealing weapons. It's not. She continues her walk when she is surprised by Fudo and takes him to her dressing room. She is mad at him for doing something so dangerous, but they both admit how much they wanted to see each other. Back at the base, Furo's teammates worry for his safety. However, at Gecko's base we see that he is enjoying a game of Uno. Desumi receives a transmission and instantly jumps into action to hide Fudo. She is warned of an intruder and when the transmission ends she apologizes for sitting on him. The bear starts to enter the room and again, she must act fast. She accidentally ends up stuck with Fudo, as he complains how something is making it difficult to breathe. The bear grows skeptical of the slight movements of the locker as the two panic about Dezumi's wardrobe. Fudo is ejected from the locker, knocking out the bear and causing his weapon to go off. As a result, the enemy's base is destroyed and severely damaged. In the eyes of his teammates, he lives up to the title of hero. Later, Desumi apologizes for being a poor host and tends to cover his wounds. After complimenting her bag, he gives her his phone number. Now they will be able to talk whenever they want, and she cautiously asks if she can call him tonight. That night she nervously makes her first call to him, only to have Fudo's mother answer, which prompts her to ask that he buy his own phone. In the following weeks, the Gecko have a meeting with Baller, their supreme leader. He congratulates them on their success in accumulating negative emotions from humans so far. For advancing the group's goal of dominating the world, he utilizes it as a power source for creating new monsters. The purpose of this current meeting is deciding who their next target is and they take turns making suggestions. They are all pretty incompetent. one not even being able to speak at all. Dezumi's suggestions are all date destinations and Bostar scolds her for it. However, the bear explains that one of her ideas is that the amusement park would be filled with unsuspecting humans. Desumi would then text Fudo as he struggles to figure out how to use a smartphone. He has a memory of their discussion about nice date destinations and how they will all be unlikely to go visit one. So the two are excited when she reveals that the Gecko's next target will be the theme park they wanted to visit. Fudo then struggles to ask his phone to give him the weather conditions for Sunday. Misaki is surprised to see him have a smartphone in his hand. She realizes that something must be going on. Sunday arrives and we see that Misaki and Haru are spying on Fudo, who is bombarded with his adoring fans. The bear notices that there are at least 3 of the gelatos there and recommends they retreat and regroup, but it's too late. Desumi says they have been spotted, which they haven't, and says they must attack the couple to see each other. Almost using their real names. As a result, the spy and girls believe that he is there because of Gecko's intentions, and that he is just performing his heroic duty. They join the fight, but also speak of how honest and admirable of a leader he is, just as he decides on a theme park attraction with Desumi. Desumi is glad they're getting to know each other so well. Fudo shortly gets motion sickness after several rides. In spite of feeling uncomfortable seconds ago on the ride, he wishes he would never touch the ground again after touching hands with her. The battle has ended and they must return to their groups. It is the end of the day and everyone is heading home. However, Haru stops for a moment as she notices a picture of Fudo on a ride with a girl. This concludes the first part of today's anime recap. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get notified of our next upload. Comment down below what anime I should cover next. I will be answering all the comments. I will see you in the next one.